Hi, this is the Daily Design with Denise Mathew, the place to get human design microbursts of information, discussions, and energy alerts that can help you navigate an unpredictable world. So let's get into it. This is episode 5, 2027 and the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix, part 1. Most anyone who's been in human design for a short or even a long period of time has heard about what some will call the prophecy of 2027 and others will call the mutation that is said to arise in 2027. Either way, it's always been this sense of mystery that is wrapped around this energy that Ra-Uru talked about over and again. It would be when Pluto would move through the gate 60, where it is moving right now, and move into the gate 41. And it being the start codon of all things would be the beginning of a new global cycle where the cross of planning would slowly be fading out. Now, you don't have to look too far in the world around us to see how these energies are actually playing out the way he talked about them happening. Partnerships that have withstood for years are breaking down, and deals that have been in play for decades are crumbling as we watch. With only 5 years before we hit 2027, exploring some of the information that he left us might be worthwhile. And that's what we're going to do today, where we look at the cross of the sleeping phoenix, said to be the new cross, one that will be heralding in 2027 and potentially a new being that Ra-Uru called the Rave. Richard Rudd, author of The Gene Keys, spoke about packing up the world, where he went into detail about a prophecy that he had had about the coming future. And if you haven't already heard his talk, I'll leave the link below because it's actually worth a listen. So if we look at the cross of the sleeping phoenix, we are looking at something that Ra-Uru said would be the indication or the thematic that we'd be living with as we moved into 2027 and going beyond that. He also said that 2027 wasn't going to be something that heralded in everything in one moment. It was a gradual shift that would happen or unfold as time went on. Today we're going to talk about the gate 59, line 6, because we know that all the gates of the sleeping phoenix, the gate 20, the gate 34, the gate 55, and also the gate 59, are going to be expressing themselves through this global cycle through the 6th line. So when we look at the gate 59, line 6, the first thing he mentioned was that there would be potential fertility issues in the collective, because the gate 59, line 6 is called the one night stand, which, as we all know, has a very interesting name, and not many people really understand what the energy means. So let's unpack it today. So we look at the 6th line energies as where we have a beginning and a middle and a final flowering stage. We can see that when we first have this energy of the 59-6, there's this potential to have a lot of different partners, to want to go out in the world and experiment with what it feels like to be intimate, or to even break barriers. And that's the first stage, which really happens until we have our Saturn return, which happens about 28 or 29 years of age. Then we get into the middle place where we're contemplating about what happened in our life. And finally, we have a flowering where what we call come off the roof and achieve the role model version of the 6th line energy. Because the 5th line energy of all gates is considered the exaltation of the energy, when we get to the 6th line, we're already looking into the future, into the next gate of the mandala, which means that it's always going to be a little different than the rest of the energy. And that's the same for the gate 59, line 6. Now, this is where we get to the point where we're fixated on the ultimate connection, that we're so fixated that no bond will actually suffice. There's a sense of you've been there and you've done that, and now you only want the best. And if that's not available, you'd rather have nothing. And we talk about this intimate bond. This is one that is said to transcend the physical, that is called a bond that breaks all barriers. So there might be a sense of always waiting, or even the concept that a bond has a much greater meaning than just a union. So to this point, let's talk about a new concept where people are choosing to have platonic relationships, where both are invested in raising a family, yet They have no romantic interest in each other. So something to keep in mind is that when we get to the sixth line of any gate, we're looking at the whole circuit. In this case, it connects to the whole tribal circuit, but especially the defense circuit that is responsible for how we mate, procreate, and take care of our offspring. Will the future show us this potential to only wait and never bond? Maybe, maybe not, but it is food for thought. But a lot of fingers are pointing at people having fewer children, fertility issues, and alternative ways of how we continue the human race. Until we explore this topic again, this has been The Daily Design with Denise Mathew. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.